one I've gotten, and so I'm new to the board, so if there are emails and you could add me to the list, that would be wonderful. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't think we've had an environmental
We haven't.
meeting in a
No,
while.
that's the first one.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, you should have.
So okay, good. I just want to miss anything. Thanks. Add me to the list. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think we've had an environment.
Oh, wait.
Oh no. Did we lose everyone? You can probably, maybe if they can still hear us, maybe. But
No, we can hear you guys.
We can still hear you.
Oh, okay. No, never mind.
Okay.
We just lost
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There you go.
We're setting up the live stream.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. You should have gotten a direct and then a group email about, a whole listing of the meetings. So we
No worries. I got the invite, so that was fun.
Okay, good. You got the panelist invite.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. We are live. We are live. I'm sorry, Madam Chair, go right ahead.
Welcome everyone to the Environmental Committee. Today's date is November 28th and it is 7:02. And we are here today for an informational presentation by the Department of Sanitation. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Marissa.
Marissa, nice to meet you. Marissa. So I will turn things over to you.
Oh, thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Marissa Yanni. I'm a community affairs liaison with the Department of Sanitation. I was asked to come and do kind of a brief presentation just about composting. So those of you will get the
slide.
Okay, we'll get the slide up and then happy to answer any and all questions that you all have, and let me know if I'm talking too fast because I'm from Brooklyn, so it's fun. That's what we do. So I'm just here to talk about composting and everything that's kind of part of that, and just what goes in the bin, what goes in a bag. Everyone gets a little confused about that. Oh yeah, it's like we're down there. So at this moment, leaf and yard waste is mandatory, as well as food scraps. I'm sorry, this was not somewhat dated for this for that slide's purpose. Both are mandatory. Enforcement is not happening for food scraps at this time because not all the boroughs are currently doing that. But you can get a ticket for yard waste. You can get a summons for that at this time. And we're going to go into how you pack up your yard waste, how you pack up your food scraps. So we'll get into all that at the moment. But everything is by the law technically mandatory at this time. Go to the next slide. Sorry, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, because everyone here lives in Brooklyn, your compost collection day is whatever day your recycling day is. In this district, you didn't have it before. A couple of districts did, so their days changed. But whatever day is your recycling day, that's when you put out your compost. So that you're gonna have like about 4 waste streams going out that day. We don't mind. We're gonna take it all from you. So make sure everything goes out on your recycling day. And like we said, leaf and yard waste is mandatory, as well as food scrap. There's just no enforcement yet for food scraps. Keep that in mind. Just some of our noteworthy stuff. Composting, it helps keep the neighborhood cleaner, and separating out food scraps is always very helpful. Keeps the rats away, make sure nobody is getting involved in that, which is always helpful, and just keeps everything separate, and it won't smell as much actually. In a bit. You can go to the next slide. So this is just what to compost. I did bring, for those of you at home, you don't have that at the moment, but I did bring some decals, and everyone here can take as many as you need. And it's a great way to see what you need to compost, what you can compost essentially. Anything that grows, you can pretty much throw in the brown bin. That's kind of the little tag that I've been making up myself. No one's caught on to it, but it's what I've been saying. So leaf and yard waste, we all know what that is, of course, kind of the leaf season right now. All food scraps, anything that you've eaten in the house, it could be bones, it could be dairy, all that, because there were some differences with food scrap drop-off sites. I hate that phrase, it takes too long. With those, some places weren't accepting everything, but we will take it all. So anything you have in your house that was eatable at some point, you can put inside the bin or put in the bag, and we'll get into that in a second.
So I didn't know about the pizza boxes, because I put my pizza boxes in cardboard.
If it's really, really
Yeah.
food soiled,
If it's food soil.
yeah, if it's
okay.
like
Yeah,
the
if it's
greasiest
beefy.
box in the world,
I
it could go in
learned
there.
something today.
But as most New Yorkers, I'm hoping we're eating our pizza quickly, so there won't be as much grease. But that's just me. I don't know where you get it from. If you go to Pizza Wagon, if you go somewhere else, I don't know. I don't know how greasy it is. But yeah, you could technically put food boxes in there, as well as some other stuff. Napkins, towels, the tea bags are definitely helpful. I'm a tea drinker, so that can also go in there as well. So for folks at home, if you ever have a chance to come to the community board, I just gave a big stock of these decals. You can come and take, and you can also order one online as well. Go to the next slide. This is just about where it goes. We don't then throw it somewhere crazy like in the river or in a landfill. We do actually throw it somewhere good, and we bring it to our Newtown Creek wastewater treatment plant. And everything gets turned into compost. Your organic material gets turned into compost. We actually then give it back to parks and schools, and we do compost giveaways and give back events. So it does turn into soil enrichment.
So also all of that collected material we reuse right here in New York.
Yeah, we don't give it away, we don't sell it,
That's
which
awesome.
would probably be a good way, actually, be good to start selling it, but no, we don't. We give it
Okay,
back to all
that's
New
wonderful.
Yorkers. What you give out is what you're gonna get right back.
We sell it to landscapers.
And landscapers too?
Yeah.
Who said that? Did Richard say that?
Richard said it, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Marissa.
Work in this, you live around here, Richard, when I saw your name.
Yeah, he's a
I'm
member.
on the board.
You're on the board. Of course you are, you're on the board. Well, then tell me when I'm saying something wrong. When we get to that, or don't, it's okay. This is a Marissa presentation. It goes very differently than the one he does. We can go to the next slide. So composting is easy, right? It's really easy to do. You're just gonna separate everything, put it in your bins and put it out on your recycling day. And again, we're gonna get into what you can put in what, but as long as everything's separated within a bundle of some sorts, then you can just put it in your brown bin or any other bin that you have labeled. That's why you have these Greek decals here, labeled for compost. And then away we go, and then it's gonna get all taken separately. So just make sure you don't have any metal. If your food, like, you got a tin can or a to-go box, make sure everything is separated when you put it in your compost bin. We just want the eatable, compostable items.
These brown bins, I don't know, I haven't seen them around lately. Where are they?
Yeah, we don't have any compost.
You didn't sign up for any bins? Nobody ordered a bin?
I have my bin, I have my bin.
Yeah. So there was a public period, or there was a period where the public could order a bin. It was about 2 months or so. It was from August to October, about. So if you didn't order a bin then, we did also do bin distributions, one per community board. The one we did in Bay Ridge is at the Bay Ridge Library. If you still don't have a bin after that, you can use your own bin. Just put one of those decals on it that Marissa has right there.
You can then use any bin that you want. But there's a slide talking about that. But yeah, you can use any bin you want after that. Or
Sorry.
stick some. That's not that valuable.
Yeah, I think that there's a difference between the brown bins that have been distributed for 1, 2, 3 family homes versus the apartment building.
Yeah, those are a bit bigger.
Yeah, those are.
Those are a bit bigger, yeah, if you can get a hold of those. But yeah, otherwise, in the slide, you can see that they're the smaller ones. They're almost the size of a leaf bag.
Right.
Which is kind of funny. We'll go on to the next slide. Okay, we'll get into the nitty-gritty. I am gonna read this at the same time, so I don't say anything wrong, because it has happened in the past. Okay, leaf and yard waste only. There are 3 ways you can put out your leaf and yard waste. Number 1 is in your brown bin or any bin that you have that's labeled for compost and has a lid on it. It can't be more than 55 gallons. So 1 way is in your bin. The second way is in a leaf bag, which actually are here in the office. The brown paper bags that normally are labeled, but we all pretty much know that it's for leaves. You can put your yard waste in there or in a clear plastic bag. Those are the 3 ways that you can put out. I put up 4 fingers. The 3 ways you can put out your leaf and yard waste. So if I need to know, a sanitation worker needs to know by looking at the curb what it is. I'm either looking through the clear plastic bag, I'm looking at that brown paper bag, or I'm looking at your compost bin. That is the only way you can put out leaf and yard waste. Did I miss something? No. You can also bundle your twigs and branches with twine. If you have a lot of that, if you just like did a little trimming on your tree, that's one thing you can do as well. But otherwise, if you want to shove it in the brown, one of the leaf bags, that's totally fine as well, because that all goes together. Any questions on that before I move on to food scraps? So everyone go.
You need 3 different boxes, 3 different bins.
No, those are just the 3 different ways that you could do it. You choose one of those 3 ways. Either the bin with a lid and the label, the bag, or the plastic, clear plastic bag.
My building doesn't recycle it.
That's a whole other
Yeah.
ballgame. They should be recycling. That's been a law since the
Yeah,
80s.
it's a loss. It's
Oh my
not here.
goodness. Okay, do tell me that address later so we can get you in trouble and get you a.
Some
No, I'm joking.
educational pamphlets.
Some education stuff. I'm
pamphlets,
joking.
yes.
I'm sorry. We can go to the next slide. Okay, this is for food scraps and the food soil paper. So you can only put that in a brown bin. Only in a bin or a labeled bin. Doesn't matter if it's sorry, I'm just gonna throw that for a second. If it's either in one of our brown bins or in a bin with one of these decals, that's where your food scraps are gonna go. Don't put it in the bag with the leaves in the paper bag. Don't put it just in a clear bag on the street. Has to be in a covered bin with the lid under 55 gallons or less. What you put inside the bin is totally fine. If you want to line your bin with newspaper, some people do that. If you want to line it with a paper bag, you can do that. If you want to line it with a plastic bag just to keep it clean, that is totally fine. We will open up the bag when it gets to the treatment site, the treatment plant, and then we're going to take all the good stuff out. So doesn't matter what's really inside the bag, a clear bag is probably best. Doesn't matter what's inside the bin as long as then you close it and it's labeled that it's for compost material. So we got a little hairy during the summer when we were explaining that part to people. But you can, in your brown bin or the bin, you can put together yard waste and food scraps. You can put that all together. I don't mind. I will all take it at the same time. But only yard waste can go in the clear bag and in the paper bag. This is why I came in person, so I can do a lot of this. Okay, is that good with everyone? A little bit, okay. That's always where I get the most questions. Okay, we can go to the next slide. What are we remembering? So if you have a commercial landscaper, because you have an awesome house on, was that Colonial? Where are the really, really big houses?
Oh.
Down there, right? If you have one of those really, really big, beautiful houses, and you have a commercial landscaper, they cannot put their stuff in your brown bin. They can't put stuff in the cute little paper bag. They have to get rid of that themselves. So if your commercial landscaper is saying, oh, we'll just put it out there, let them know that you pay for them, and they have to put that out on their own. They have to take it away themselves. All food waste must be stored in a bin with a secure lid, as I've been saying about 100 times. You can't put bags of food waste just on the curb. That is just regular garbage. To us, that's not going to be taken with your compost. That's also negates the whole point of the bin. Because the whole point is not to have any more plastic bags on the street. And like I said, you can't mix food waste and your leaf and yard waste. That cannot be put together. Okay, we can go to the next one. There's a couple of misconceptions that some people have. Does composting attract rats? No. I mean, it's all in one spot. It does sound like a smorgasbord, but it's not. It's in that closed lidded bin. We really haven't had I haven't really had anybody call me and say, oh, the rats went through the bin. They've done all these things. I have not heard any of that. You know, if you're putting it out when you're supposed to, and we'll get to that in a second, then it's less time that it's on the street anyway. And again, if you even have the bag in there, I haven't heard anything about that at all. So it really doesn't. It's going to help reduce the rodent population. Hopefully they're not going to go anywhere near your block because everybody will have a bin. Composting is complicated. No, there's a whole slide that says it's not complicated. It's incredibly easy to do. Just separate everything, put it in the bin, put it out on your recycling day. Pretty easy. You can compost meat, bones, dairy products, or cooked food. Yes, you can. We will take anything and everything that you can eat, and that grows out of the ground. Put it all in your bin. I don't really care. If you made pasta, we'll take the sauce, we'll take the pasta. You had a steak, we'll take the ribeye, we'll take it all. It doesn't matter to us. You can't put plastic bags in your brown bin. Yes, you can put plastic bags in your brown bin to line it. Then you could just tie it up, put it out curbside. And then when the guys come and take it, or women, I'm sorry, when the sanitation workers come and get it, we'll lift up the lid, put it in the truck, and then leave your bin nicely curbside, because that's what we do. Most compost just gets thrown out. No, it definitely doesn't. The trucks do look the same. We do have split body trucks. We have trucks running out that are just doing compost, might be doing garbage and compost or recycling and compost. So don't look at any of our trucks and think that we're doing bad things. It's just all our trucks just happen to be white and they all look the same, but they are different and they're going to different places. We can only. All right, taking care of your bin. Write your address on it. There's a nice little slit actually on the other side where you can write your address. Clean it. If you got a hose it out. Put a little Lysol and a little CN in there. Tie the bag closed before you set it out. Like I was saying, that's always really helpful and easier for the guys, for the sanitation workers to take it out for you. And keep it closed at all times if you can. Just make sure it's not, if it's open, then again, it negates the whole point of this lidded business that we're trying to get into. Next slide. A couple of tips. We do have kitchen containers that we were doing some giveaways for. Richard can tell me if we're still doing giveaways for those. I was able to snag one. So you could just chop up, see how we're nicely chopping up, because we're all just eating vegetables every day. Chopping up our vegetables, putting it in the kitchen container, and then you could throw that in your compost bin, which is really helpful. Cleaning your containers as frequently as possible. I know some people, my mom thinks it's weird having the thrown out food in the house. Some people put it in their freezer and that seems to help with the smell. If you want to do that in between, if your freezer isn't full of stuff from Trader Joe's like mine is, then you actually have that room, which is very nice. Right. Oh, like I said, so, it seems I knew everything before I even looked at the slide. Go to the next one. Sorry. Like I've been shouting, compost is going to be collected weekly on your recycling days. There are also the services year round. We had done a service break in Queens last year, 2022. What month is it? 2020. Yeah, last year. So that's not going to happen. Always put your compost out, your organic material out on your recycling day. It's always going to be picked up unless it's a holiday. If it's a holiday, then we're not going to pick it up because we might not be working. Go to the next slide. Okay, what time to put it out? So the new set out time started back in April. So if your, if your garbage is in a bin, it goes out at 6 p.m. So that includes your compost, right? That can go out starting at 6 p.m. If your yard waste is in a bag, that could also go out at 6 p.m. because it's just yard waste. Hopefully rats aren't going to start eating yard waste, then we're really in for trouble. But if that doesn't happen, you're fine. If you have bags, right? Your regular garbage bags, that can't go out till 8 p.m. We all know that. But your bin and your yard waste can go out at 6 p.m. So depending on what time you get home, when you want to start doing your garbage, you're going to bed early, put it out at 6 p.m. It's already dark by then, so it's not too much to remember.
Let's say after 8, you say?
For this one.
For the bags.
For bags. Correct. So setting out waste. So after 6 p.m. if it's in a container with a secure lid. After 8 p.m. if you're putting bags directly on the curb. Why is it? Because I can't read. So yard waste goes out at 8 p.m. I apologize, Richard. I feel like you soon are going to tell me that. I can't read occasionally. So if it's in a bin, 6 p.m. If it's in a bag, 8 p.m. I apologize. Any bag, I don't care what kind of bag it is, that doesn't go out till after 8 p.m. If it's in a beautiful bin with a lid, it's gorgeous, it's brown, it has our name on it, that goes out at after 6 p.m. 6:01 is when we will let you put it out. Yes.
So there's a very nice note on this slide. Which is
There is.
important here in CD10 because this is one of the most commonly complained about, asked about since the rollout, and that is bulk items.
Okay.
When do we put our bulk items out?
Your just called trash day. Your non-recycling day, right? Yes. On your non-recycling. So if you have a mattress, you have a big dresser, furniture, put that out on your collection day. That's not your recycling day. So whatever day that is for you. Because everyone here just has 2 days of service, right? Because I do.
Yes.
It's only Manhattan that gets 3 days of
Just
service.
verify which one days on.
So the
Those-
days of your collection vary. The community district is divided into 4 sectors. So for example, my home collection day is Tuesdays. Tuesdays is my recycling day. Friday is my second collection day. So if I have a bulk item, it's going to go out on my second collection day, which is only trash. And bulk items. On Tuesday, my recycling day, I have my glass, my paper, my yard waste, my organics, and my regular trash if there's anything left, which usually there's not.
That is the whole point.
That's the whole point. So you should have,
311 for that,
For what?
for like bulk, like
Which
mattresses.
day is it?
No, you just, no, you don't need to make an appointment.
Really, because before, we used to,
Yeah,
Bulk-
no, we stopped doing that. Nope, that stopped.
Bulk
a few
items
months.
just leave out in the street?
yeah, just.
Right, just right.
only on your.
Like on collection day.
day.
Yes, whatever that day is. I happen to be Tuesday, Friday myself.
Yes,
I'm not in this district, but I just happen to be Tuesday, Friday.
Furniture as well?
Yes, yep,
Sure.
all that is,
Understood, it's understood.
yeah, because when we're coming by, we're just picking up garbage. So if I'm driving by and I see you also got a piece of furniture or the mattress, I'll have room for it. Because I'm not gonna have room for it your other day with the recycling and the compost and all that, there's not gonna be room for
It's
anything.
understood, but I just have a question because
Mhm.
we don't have this the brown bin. We used to have it, but it was stolen or it was gone.
Gotcha.
And so right now, where I live in an apartment 6 unit. And I've been calling 311 because they don't recycle. They put everything in a black plastic bag.
Okay,
So I separated glass, paper, and other people do the same, but the owner, whoever, puts it in a plastic bag and puts it out. And you don't see any, it's horrible. It's like 311 report, there's no way for you to know. Even a dead rat will be there inside the black bag,
Right.
a dead horse. You know what I'm saying?
and you won't know what's going
You
on.
won't know it's gone out, so,
Do you want your building to receive a summons?
well, I don't know. I have to speak to you later.
You want to,
okay?
no.
I think-
Summits to teach a lesson.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I go there, okay, and I see this thing, I keep my things proper because
Yep.
it has to be proper. The universe is already fighting us.
Correct.
So anyway, so I see that and then I open the bin, the paper, the bottles, the garbage, the
Everything's
trash,
together.
everything is there. And of course, they cover it and then on a Sunday, they put it out there and I see it. There's no recycling.
Why don't, we'll talk
And
offline?
it's not only that, other places too. So every time I go, like I see, cause I feel concerned, I see places there, I call. Say for example, 555.
So does your building have a super or no?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know,
It just
okay.
was bought.
So sometimes, we've had we've had
They
residents
do.
come to the office to say that their building does not recycle and we've contacted the building management company or the super, or we've had the local sanitation district foreman speak to the super. That's the reason why I asked.
We don't know because the building was just bought.
Ah,
Okay, so this is a transition and even before, anyway. And I see not only in my area, it's not only there. It's also in other, when you walk along, Port Hamilton Parkway.
Okay,
Okay, and all that, Mr. Leslie is so kind, I attend these meetings and I really am so happy that, he has this exchange of these ideas that we're talking about. But anyway, the garbage is so important, very
Yes.
important. There is no question about it.
for sure. Let me know offline when this is over and I'll just get your address.
Yeah, I
Just
go
so I can send-
one every day, but there's no way. I mean, I walk 8th Avenue.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
We need to finish the presentation, but I'm glad that you guys can have this conversation offline.
thank you,
Sure.
yes, for sure, 100%. Okay, actually, just like really 2 more slides really left, because some of these don't really matter to us anymore. So if you're a resident in a unit with 10 or more units, I don't know how many folks there are out there that, I know it's a lot of smaller houses out here. So the property managers and building management, they're gonna notify residents on where the bins will be located. As we can see this beautiful picture here, because this building is doing everything properly. You have garbage, metal, glass, and plastic, paper recycling, and your compost bin. So just make sure you check in with your building super, the landlord, whoever you need to reach out to about where those bins are if you don't already know. And we could provide some educational materials like decals like they have on the wall there. If your building doesn't have that, please let me know, or if I leave too early, then let Josephine know, and then we'll see how that we can assist your building. You can just let me know your address. We can actually assist with that. If you go to the next slide, actually, super helpful, just some free resources that we have. You go to nyc.gov/sanitation materials. You can actually get like these decals that I was just talking about. You can get the ones for the other recycling streams as well, and some other flyers and whatnot. If you have any questions about it, again, you can ask Josephine, and then I'll make sure I get it for you as well if you need me to, or Josephine of the board. If you want me to bring over some more stuff, I'm more than happy to come to hop on the R train if it comes. and happy to bring some more stuff for you all. That's not a problem at all. We can actually skip through the last few slides are just about outreach and education. That is literally what I'm doing right now. So that is kind of it for me. These are all these things kind of passed. Just a beautiful picture of a bin.
No, it's great. I like this slide though, the canvassing of all buildings with 1 to 9 units, because we do have some residents who are frustrated, who live in multiple dwellings, you know, larger apartment buildings in the district, and they're looking to compost, and they're really want their building to do it, and there are complications in some buildings with the way trash is stored, or they have, you know, supers that you know, maybe have multiple buildings. So I'm
Right.
happy to see, so you're having outreach in buildings with 1 to 9 units.
Yeah, we did that back in August, September.
Right, so can larger buildings sign up, say if there was an interest in the building and organizing, because the last time the outreach, organics outreach, we had 2 events that there were larger buildings that had ambitious residents who wanted to really galvanize and try to really muster support for some of the larger buildings to set aside an area in their building. And they had Department of Sanitation come out. Is that still available?
Richard?
Yeah, you can use the online request form, the event request form, to request us to come out and speak to your building. It'll go to Marissa and my team as well, and we can
Sure, that's
hopefully
it.
send someone out there.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yes, I wanted to
Thank
be
you.
sure about that. I didn't know if we were still doing it. Thank you.
If it's in my neighborhood, I'll make an effort to do it, especially so, even informally.
You have the best person on your board for this type of stuff.
Now, Maritza, what's with down trees? How long does it take? Once you get a 311 call and get those pick up those down trees, and of course they have to be composted this time because it's varied, either 1 month to 2 months, sometimes a little longer.
No, I didn't know it was that long. I'll have to check in on that.
What's
for
the
you.
general rules? I mean, I think down 311, down trees give a location.
Do you reach out to just anyone in my office just directly? Do you reach out
Yeah.
to Jason in my office, Jason Chen maybe?
No, we haven't. No, I do have his business card. I do.
Oh, then I would reach out directly to him. I don't want to take business away from 311, but take business away from 311 and reach out to my office specifically. And then we can just call the super directly and see how quickly we can get something removed. Yeah, if you have his info, if not, I can give you my card before I leave. And we'll be able to assist your office that way. So as you get complaints or any reports really, then we can work on that quicker.
And pruning of trees on the sidewalk, how often? That's Parks
That's
Department?
Parks Department, yeah.
That's another animal too to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one.
That's all parks. They prune the trees. I'll pick it up, but I'm not gonna trim it.
Well, thank you, Marissa. Really
Is that- are we
appreciate that.
done with this?
No other questions?
Does anyone have any questions?
But no, about the brown containers, it's where we make a request or the building, I'm in an apartment house, yes.
So the time is over to get a brown bin. October 13th was the last day that you can get one, and then we did the giveaways. So you can use any bin you want, just slap a sticker on it.
With a
Slap
lid.
Yes, with a lid.
With a lid.
So yes, lids and stickers on your bin, and then we'll be able to pick it up on your recycling day, and you'll get to go through, the whole process. So that will not stop you.
So they're sorting out the paper and the metals and. But I don't see anything else as far as the composting, that's what I'm saying, I don't see it in the trash room, that's what.
How many units are in your building? Many, like you're more than 9?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, they should be doing that. Let me know if you want me to have your address, or if not, we'll see how we can maybe speak with your super. That's up to you, because if I send the district, I don't want you to just get a summons. So I would have to make sure specifically to say, that not to give you a summons.
I'll show this.
Yeah, you just be like, hey, what's going on? And then you can come back to the board and be like, okay, send them over my info, and we can send someone out to assist.
Do we do anything about in the library? Library, like I attended this meeting, so I got your material, so I gave it to the library to post it, or probably a meeting with parents.
Oh,
Not, they said that the parents are so busy that they have no time for the flash.
no, we don't post anything in libraries.
Well-
But if you need anything, come to your community board Or if anybody else needs anything, they can go on our website for materials, or if there's
No,
something.
I got the material, so I had it posted in the library where I normally go.
Mhm.
And I think there should be, this is my thinking, in a library, maybe there should be a little meeting or something about trash. Because
Okay.
the parents should be aware, and the children as well, because you see children just throwing trash in the street. And
Right,
You see the bins there, they just throw anything, and sometimes I talk to them, excuse me, I mean, this is not a garbage factory here in the
Mhm.
universe, you know, and it's very important because the parents say, oh, that's not your business. The
Oh.
parents tell me, and
Oh.
yeah, that's not your business to tell my child. And
Ah.
so this is all, of course, this is a place of a variety of people, you know.
yeah, for sure.
So it's difficult to say, well, if you're throwing, the mother is throwing a can of Coca-Cola, and of course the child will follow the same. So
Mhm.
in short, in the library, maybe there will be a talk or something, but I talked to the librarian and said, the parents are so busy with their kids, they have no time for garbage talk.
Maybe
That's
that's
a
something we could
specific
put
library.
together.
There's a specific library, maybe I can, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
City council, maybe city council people.
yeah, but reaching out to your council member is always a good idea, a
So,
good place to
mhm.
start, I think, or
Absolutely.
something like that.
Right, is there any more questions out in the digital world?
In the universe.
I think I have to do just a quick commercial that CB10 did request 2,500 leaf bags, composting bags, and we're down to the last few hundred. We've had a steady flow of residents who have been participating, so please help us spread the word. We do have some supplies left. Dan is showing them on the table. Thank
Without a
you
whiting,
so much.
This is mine.
That's what Dan's gonna do his part, and we're very excited because the whole process of leaf distribution bags has really been inspiring from neighbors who are enthusiastic about the program and wanting to participate. And you presenting here today, we're gonna certainly share this far and wide for anyone that has questions. Thank you for the slideshow and the explanation, and I'll turn it back to our chair, Tracy.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so
Really
much for having
appreciate
me.
you
I
being
appreciate
here.
it. Thank you so much.
And I believe if there's no more questions, we can adjourn.
We have a motion?
The motion to
Second.
adjourn?
Okay. All right, thank you all.
Thank you so much.